Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So since my November XRP utilities series has pretty much come to an end, I'm going to start a new playlist series, and it's basically going to be debunking misinformation in this space from YouTubers, on Twitter, wherever I see it. If it comes my way and I realize it's misinformation and it needs clarification, I'm going to make a video debunking it, and I'm going to put it in my debunk playlist. So the first video today to make that playlist is this topic right here. ISO 20022 is more than just messaging, it is XRP. I'm going to be clarifying some misinformation from this particular video by the ISO GOAT. He was going through an article by Swift talking about their CBDC interoperability solution and ISO 20022, and in his video he made 6 points of misinformation that I counted and that I will be clarifying. However, in this particular video, I'm only going to be debunking 2 of them, and the next video I make, I will be debunking the remaining 4 points of misinformation that was spread in ISO GOAT's video. So the first point I'm going to debunk is there are cryptos associated with ISO 20022, such as XRP. Now, he mentioned quite a few cryptos that are associated with ISO 20022. He said XRP, XDC, XLM, Algo, HBAR, and the point he was making is that cryptos are associated with ISO 20022. Now, I would just like to say, whenever you hear someone say that there are cryptos compliant or associated with the ISO 20022 standard, just know straight from the get-go that they don't understand or have a clue what ISO even is, and they definitely don't understand it properly, that's for sure. There are no cryptos associated with the ISO 20022 standard at all. There are crypto-based companies that have software that can process ISO 20022 messages and also have the ability to use DLT systems to settle the payment of that message, like Ripple for example. However, that does not mean in and of itself that ISO 20022 is associated with or directly linked to XRP or any cryptocurrency for that matter, because it isn't. And we have had countless developers in the space confirming and clarifying this misconception of ISO 20022 being linked directly to cryptocurrencies. It simply isn't true. And it's about time people stop spreading this misinformation. And the reason why it's extremely important that you understand that there's no such thing as an ISO 20022 linked or associated crypto is because it would prevent you from linking cryptocurrency to everywhere you see ISO 20022 mentioned. And this is what's happening. People see the word ISO 20022 mentioned in a document, and their brain translates that to mean XRP. And that's a big problem. It's this problem that caused people to believe in November they are all going to be rich off of XRP. So let me put it this way. ISO 20022 as a messaging standard can interconnect all payment systems that can process that message. Some of those payment systems, like Ripple, can settle using DLT, but others won't be using DLT. Now, a bank could be on the ISO 20022 standard for the next decade and never touch a DLT system, and that's the reality. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, I'm just saying it's possible for a bank to be on ISO 20022, compliant with that messaging standard, and they never ever use DLT systems in that time frame. And that is proof in and of itself that ISO 20022 is not associated with XRP or linked to XRP in and of itself at all. The best way to describe it is how I just did, and the best way to look at it is by thinking that or seeing ISO 20022 as a stepping stone in the right direction, making it easier for banks or financial institutions to potentially use a company like Ripple, which then uses DLT for settlement, because Ripple has software that is compliant with the ISO 20022 messaging standard, so they can process that message. And then Ripple also has an RTGS system that is DLT based, so they can settle the payment for that message within their DLT system. However, just because a bank is ISO 20022 live or migrated over to ISO 20022, it does not mean now they're using Ripple, or it does not mean now they're using XRP or XDC or XLM or HBAR or Algo or whatever these YouTubers are implying out there. deceiving you. And this is why they shouldn't imply that the standard itself is linked or associated with crypto, because it isn't. And no matter where you look online, on any reputable site, they would never tell you that ISO is associated with cryptocurrencies. And it is this notion that made many people believe on November 21st, XRP will be used by banks when ISO 20022 went live. But has it been? Look at the price of XRP. Does it really look like it's being used by banks? And how many banks are now live with ISO? You saw all those images they were posting. Oh, this bank has gone down. That bank has gone down. The Bank of Italy, the Bank of France, the Bank of Japan. All these banks went down on that weekend. But we've been a week in and nothing has happened. Why? Because there is no link, direct link. There is no association between ISO and XRP. This misinformation needs to stop. This is why it is important, if you hear anyone imply or tell you that ISO is linked to crypto, you understand that they don't have a clue what they are talking about and can't do basic research. This is basic research. Now, the second point I would like to debunk is he made a claim or implied that ISO 20022 is more than just messages, because in the Swift document it mentions the word payment data and payments in the Swift article. So you simply cannot imply ISO 20022 is more than just a message because it is used alongside words like payment data and payments in documents. Firstly, payment data refers to the data within the ISO 20022 payment message itself. Message, information, data, you get it? We know the ISO 20022 payment data is going to be rich and structured compared to the previous MT messaging data. The fact that you see the word data should tell you it is in relation to the message and not cryptocurrency. Also, ISO 20022 messaging would be used alongside the words payments in documents, not because it is associated with cryptocurrencies, but because it contains payment information that is usually sent first before the actual settlement occurs by banks in the manner they choose to settle. So the ISO message is part of the payment process, but does not handle the actual settlement or the moving of money itself. This is why it would be mentioned alongside words like payment and payment data, for that reason. So here we have the swift.com website, and like I said, this is basic research. You're never going to find in any reputable website where they refer to ISO 20022 as being associated or linked to XRP. You would only see that claim from YouTubers who have no idea what they're talking about. What is ISO 20022? ISO 20022 is an open global standard for financial information. Information refers to data. Data refers to information, and information is part of the message. The message carries information. The message carries data. It provides consistent, rich, and structured data. Another website, this is the ISO.org. I mean, you cannot get closer to ISO than this website itself. And what does it say in this article? Underpinning these developments is ISO 20022, an international messaging standard that promises to be a game changer in payments. So what is it? It's an international messaging standard. It's not an international XRP standard like that Combank article said, oh, they are going live with the XRP standard. And when I debunked that before it even happened, people were mocking me in the comments like I don't know what I'm talking about. When you have to understand, guys, I research. That's what I do. I research. I read this stuff and I understand it and I try to teach you, but you guys mock me for doing so. And then it comes out, did the Combank Australian bank use XRP standard? If you think they're using the XRP standard and it has no effect on the price of XRP, that's on you. But in my opinion, they have not used no XRP standard. What happened was they migrated over to ISO. That's all. And the person who wrote that article deceptively changed ISO and put XRP standard instead. Here we have in the same article, ISO 20022 facilitates the creation of new services and simplified end-to-end processing. It will enable richer, better, structured, and more granular data to be carried in electronic messages in business domains such as payments, securities, foreign exchange, and even your credit cards. So do you understand that? ISO 20022 is about having rich, structured data within what? Electronic messages. And this standard can be used within domains that is based on payments, securities, foreign exchange, and even your credit cards. This is not telling you that XRP is going to be used by default by banks in payment, securities, foreign exchange, and even your credit cards whenever you see the words ISO 20022. That's not what it means. Karen points out that it's not just that the process is made simpler, but the quality of data in these electronic messages will be improved. Everywhere you look, it talks about data and messaging. So what are the customer benefits beyond migration? ISO 20022 is an increasingly established global language for payments messaging. You're going to see ISO 20022 mentioned alongside payments, but it's not talking about XRP. It's talking about the messaging in relation to payments. Payment messaging. Don't take it out of context. Already used by payment systems in over 70 countries. So here we have ISO 20022 already used by payment systems in over 70 countries. If ISO 20022 is live in 70 countries right now, and that means they are all using XRP, then look at the price of XRP. That's abysmal. ISO 20022 significantly improves the quality of data across the entire payments ecosystem. Quality of data. Data is information. Information is in the message. Again, so you may tell me, leave him alone. Why are you bullying the ISO goat? I am not bullying the ISO goat. I'm trying to correct the ISO goat. And the reason why I'm trying to correct the ISO goat is because I want him to deliver correct information to his subscribers. And let's look at some of the comments under his video. Here you have my comment. I am telling him you are explaining that article wrong. I'm trying to correct him. He doesn't seem to care. And here you have a comment saying appreciate the constant factual updates. Factual updates. That's sad. The hardest thing to see is what is in front of your eyes. ISO GOAT, another quick, informative and bullish video. That's exactly what it is. It's a bullish video. When you tell people and you translate that Swift document to mean XRP is going to be used by Swift, that's a very bullish video. But is it an accurate bullish video? No, it isn't. Thank you. I had to go back and listen to the beginning of the video to see exactly where the source of the information you were presenting came from. The information came from Swift themselves. Excellent content. Appreciate very much what you bring. Thank you. You see, this poor guy here thinks Swift is saying that they're using XRP because the ISO GOAT told them so. And I'm going to debunk the rest of his 4 points of misconception in my next video. Bro, that is huge. Thank you for reading that off. Swift saying all of that is so encouraging. Swift didn't say all of that. He actually said it. Great job. As always, keep up the good work and so on. So as you can see, his subscribers are being duped. And my aim in this series of debunking misinformation is to put the correct information out there, is to clarify it so people can have a balanced understanding, a correct understanding. And I implore you, if I make a mistake, if I am wrong, then correct me and I welcome corrections. That's the whole point. If I made a mistake, then clarify it for me so I can clarify it for myself and so that I can then present it properly. If I've made a mistake and I am definitely wrong, then I'm going to taking accountability. I have no problem with doing that. But the problem is these content creators don't seem to care about taking accountability. They're just spreading misinformation day in and day out, deceiving people, and when you message them, try to correct them, they say you are infecting my chat. Cool story, bro. That's what the ISO GOAT told me when I tried to correct him on one of his other videos. Cool story, bro. When I tried to explain to him nothing is going to happen on November the 21st. What did he say? Cool story, bro. When I asked him afterwards, take accountability for the things you've mentioned. He was not having it. He was not interested in taking accountability. So I'm going to be debunking misinformation, and his video was the first to make the series. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so as to not miss my next video.